bro, he may really be gone, like actually dead. Which would kind of make sense of why he randomly brought up, like, man, I'm trying to go to heaven all of a sudden. Where it's like, you've never spoke like that before. But now, the rumors are spreading. He was not seen at all today, and he has nothing scheduled for the entire weekend. Nothing scheduled on Monday. 0 appearances. Then J.D. Vance suspiciously said this during his interview. God forbid there's a terrible tragedy. It was like, one of them, like, pre-programming things, like, hey, get ready. Now, obviously, this is all speculation, but like, Donald's a hater. He always be watching. So as soon as people would be saying like, oh, we think he may be dead, I think that he would immediately make a truth post like, no, I'm still here. I don't know what y'all think this was. I see y'all on Monday. National Guard is on the way. The speculations really started to pick up the pace when people started to notice how bad his hand was getting. People remember Queen Elizabeth was seen with the same exact type of bruised hand. She died 2 days later. Making its waves on social media. More and more people are like, wait a second. No, hold on. We think he really may be dead. Everybody on the timeline talk about it without actually saying it. I'm here saying it out loud. Spoke to a reporter, president is dead. He just died. Now, no source. I have no idea if that's true or not. But it's weird that he has not said anything. I'm surprised his people haven't just been like, you guys are idiots. Shut up. Obviously, he's not dead. Like, usually they love making people look stupid. Like, they love to call people stupid. But all of a sudden, it's just like radio silence. And now I'm just sitting here scratching my head like, wait a second. It would kind of make sense. Where it's like, oh, yeah, that's why he was like, nah, I'm about to Sims mode this shit. Ballroom over there. Hold on, I got the Mar-a-Lago. Man, bring them poles up. Yup. Rose Garden, forget that. Concrete. I need an event. I'm about to do something to the roof, too. He's going to pop out the color like peroxide in Trump fashion. Or, I mean, we never hear from him again. He dead. And then J.D. Vance, I guess, takes over. That's not a good sign. One thing, though, whether he dead or alive, that's going to be an interesting Labor Day weekend because some people are going to be celebrating and some people are going to be crying over their barbecue.
The big orange has kicked the bucket. We still got to do what we got planned, okay? I will still be going to London to protest the rise of fascism on the 17th of September, whether the big orange is having his state visit or not. Blackout system still has to happen. In fact, the need for it becomes greater because we have a bigger opportunity. Kicking the bucket will destabilise things. The next in line's position is not guaranteed. That's our opportunity to give everything a big push. And all the things that have been worked on, the People's Sick Day, general strike movements, blackout the system, as I mentioned, all of those have an opportunity to destabilise. So we actually have to push harder, not softer. And also, on a less serious note, I might need some help thinking up some different slogans for my my banner if he's no longer with us.
News right now, Vice President J.D. Vance says that he is ready to assume the duties of President of the United States if something were to happen to Donald Trump concerning Donald Trump's health in a new exclusive interview with USA Today. Vance was asked about the recent health concerns about Donald Trump, including his vein deficiencies, including the bruising on his hands. Vance says that Trump is in very good health, that he is the first one making calls in the morning, the last one making calls at night, that there is no issues with Donald Trump's health. But if there ever is an issue in the next 3 years, Vance says that he has received a ton of, quote, on-the-ground training over the past 200 days that would make him fully comfortable assuming the office of President of the United States. Now, obviously, a key facet of being Vice President is if something happens to the President, the Vice President steps up, is in the next in the line of succession. With all the news about Donald Trump's health swirling, I don't want there to be any conspiracy theories, but we do definitely need more answers from the White House about the bruising and other things. And Vance is now being asked questions as well by reporters. Vance is also the front runner in 2028 for Republicans, so he's preparing to try to be president anyway. And even spread the word. Let me know what you think and follow.
Why do I feel like something is actually not adding up here? Sorry, please. It's just a kind question. Please, I'm just asking. Is the big orange dead? Because for me, I just think this is actually rumor. But for the vice president said he is going to be the successor, it's kind of not, something is kind of not adding up. And adding up to the bruises and the stuff, matching the bruises to that of Queen Elizabeth before she passed on and so forth. I'm still asking a question. Is the big orange? Has it kicked the bucket? Because I'll be sad. I will really be sad. Do you know why I will be sad? Because he has to stay his 4 years for MAGAs to understand what they actually voted for. Welcome back to the channel. Sonia, thank you so much for always supporting me. Credit belongs to the original creators of every videos, clips we use in our today's episode. This is just for educational purpose, right? This is just American just reacting to the big orange rumor, dead, kicking buckets, and so on and so forth. I don't even want to conclude yet. But anyways, let's dive right into this video, continue this video, and I'll be back with commentaries.
Donald Trump has not been seen for 3 days now, and people are starting to ask questions. He has not been out golfing. He has not been seen by the press pool or made any public appearances. Now, the last time we saw Donald Trump, he was at his cabinet meeting, sitting behind a desk so we couldn't see his ankles and trying to cover the bruising on his wrist. Now, Donald Trump has taken a hiatus before during this presidential term, and when he returned, that's when we noticed the ankles, that's when we noticed the bruising on the wrist. And the questions started being asked, and the White House was forced to update us on his health. Well, the questions are being asked again. Where is Donald Trump? This is a man, his whole life, loves the attention. He tries to get in front of a camera as much as he can, and now he's shying away now that he's president of the United States and can dictate the narrative at any given moment. Now he's hiding away. It is up to the press to find out if something is wrong. Force the White House, who is the most transparent in history, to give us some information.
Okay, so I'm going to jump on the bandwagon here. I usually don't post this late at night, but where the hell is Donald Trump? So apparently, he has not been seen since Tuesday. He has not made any appearances, nothing, today, yesterday, or the day before. And the White House has no events scheduled for him this weekend. Now, if he's as sick as a lot of people have been speculating lately, maybe he was so sick that a doctor said, you just have to stop. And that means you can't even be in bed and having meetings with people. Like, you have to completely stop, like disappear, to try to get a little better, maybe. But that's kind of doubtful, because I think they'd make an announcement. This is very sudden. And there's a strange video going around that showed him supposedly coming back from golf on Tuesday, getting into some car, and that he still had his golf shoes on. Is very odd. Usually take your golf shoes off, like at the course, and get into your regular shoes. I don't know. There's a lot of videos. Everybody is doing videos tonight. And they're all saying, where's Donald Trump? What's going on? Where is the president? And why did J.D. Vance all of a sudden start doing meetings today and interviews? And in at least one interview, he said, oh, he's in great health, but God forbid if something should happen, I'm ready to take over. Like, why did he say that? I know he's the vice president and he's supposed to take over, but why today? Why, when Donald Trump is not seen, is J.D. Vance saying that?
It is currently Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Trump has not been seen since the cabinet meeting on Tuesday, at least on film. So they haven't allowed Grandpa to play president in the Oval Office, which, if you follow up on news, you know happens quite frequently. Sometimes they just give him a little trophy. They were talking about FIFA last week, and sometimes it's an executive order, and then he'll answer all the questions, and that's where you see all the clips and the buffoonery on TikTok. None of that has happened in days. So I just want people to kind of be on alert. I'm not trying to create hope core or any type of rumors, but it is just interesting that we're going into holiday weekend. We haven't seen him. Further, if you go to C-SPAN and you click on their schedule, I clicked on today's events Eastern Time and I scrolled down, and there was supposed to be, it says TBD, but it does say that the president would speak to reporters en route to New Jersey. So he's supposed to go to New Jersey this weekend. And so it could very well be that within an hour of me putting this up, he's on a plane to New Jersey and we're getting audio at least of him. But it's just very suspicious. Also, J.D. Vance had an interview yesterday where he said he had answered the question that was asked about, him being a heartbeat away from the presidency. And he did say Trump was in good health. You can look it up. Just go online, just search J.D. Vance ready to step in. I'm sure you'll find it. But he didn't necessarily it wasn't propagandized. It didn't feel like he was yeah, I'm going to step in. But what's weird is there's a ton of articles now through the conservative media. Let me show you. So this is like U.S. Homeland Security news. I don't even know if that's valid, but talking about how he said he's, if God forbid there was a terrible tragedy, he'd step in. We've got one from the New York Post. He's ready to take over. Here's the Daily Mail. J.D. Vance says he's ready. This is just, these are not outlets that are like traditional media anyway. Like, you take everything they say with a grain of salt. It could just be them wanting headlines and clickbait, but just be locked in this weekend. Like, again, not trying to create hope core. You can get hopeful if you want, but something's up.
A lot of people are saying on social media, the reason why that is because a lot of people were just playing a badass game of telephone. August 28th, which was yesterday at about 5:30, it was reported that J.D. Vance, which is our vice president, said that he's ready to be president, even though he was praising Donald Trump's health. Then, to add fuel to the fire, today at around 5:17 p.m., a journalist by the name of Laura Rosen posted, "Trump has no public events scheduled all weekend. Don't believe he was seen today either." Then she posted the actual schedule that shows the president having no public scheduled events, Sunday nor Monday. Then another reporter responded to this message saying that he wasn't seen yesterday either. Robert Macias came out of nowhere fucking instigating, but we love the additional tea. Also, it's just a coincidence that J.D. Vance would just come out and say a statement like that he's ready to be president while we haven't seen Trump in days. Especially when the last person J.D. Vance went to go see was the... Mind you, this was also the time that we started seeing him rock. I guess it's really looking like...
Someone please update me because it's like I'm not updated. I don't know. But God forbid, God forbid, he will live to declare the words of the Lord in the land of the living. For those of you that is spraying rumor that the big orange has kicked the bucket, may God forgive you people. But first, you guys should please let me know in the comment section, is this rumor true? Is this rumor not true? Are they just joking? Are they just spreading what they are meant to spread? And see, this should not be a strategy of stopping anybody that is doing anything, especially on the blackouts from September 16th to 20th. This should not be like anything to distract anybody not to do anything. You understand? I don't believe he is gone. I don't believe he has kicked the bucket because it is not officially made known. I think I did some of my research and some persons said this is actually a rumor. And why is it that sometimes when I look at the way things is happening in the US, right, it's looking more like the dynamics or the line is the same with what is actually most of the things happening in Nigeria. Because I remember during that time that we still have our president, Buhari, he was ruling us and everybody said, oh, he's gone, he is late, he has kicked the bucket, blah, blah, blah. And saying, okay, the person that is actually sitting in place of him right now, the person is a robot, stuff like that. And to be honest, this man stayed for the good 4 years, or is it 8 years? After ruling Nigeria with all dignity and unity, this man just kicked bucket this year. After making us go through every single thing that we've gone through, he just kicked the bucket this year. And it was officially made known that, yeah, the late President Buhari is now dead and the rest of that. And now looking back at after what America is currently going through and so on and so forth, just like that, I will not come and hear that the orange, no, it's not possible because MAGAs, those ones that love him so much, those ones that cherish him. I love him too, right? But there are people that love him more than us. They have to see, we have to pray that he stays so that they can actually see the reward that he actually have for them. Because, anyways, let me not even talk so much. Let me know in the comment section, do you think that the big orange is... Me, I don't think, and I'm not even praying for that. No matter how bad someone is, the worst thing I can actually do is to pray for that person to die. I can never pray that. But let me know what you think about all of this reaction that I've actually rolled out for you guys. Do you think it is possible? Do you think it's not possible? Let's get your comments, your opinion in the comment section. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clip we use in today's episode, and this is just for educational purposes. I stand a chance to be corrected where you think I'm doing wrong. And yes, without further ado, I'm going to be Simba and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you. Mwah.